let's talk about customer acquisition, because this also applies to getting paid. Most businesses will fail not because of a bad idea. Most businesses fail not because they lack cash necessarily. Most businesses fail because they haven't been able to crack the nut of customer acquisition. They haven't been able to figure out how to acquire customers at a price that's profitable. You can spend $1 million and get a ton of customers, but then if you're not making at least $1 million from them, you're losing money left and right, right? So the goal here is how can you find a way to acquire customers profitably? Dan Kennedy said, "Whoever can acquire the customers, whoever can spend the most to acquire customers wins," and he's right. So it comes down to how can you spend more to acquire customers? One is to run a very lean business. If your business is based on writing, if that's what you do, that you already have a lean business, because you're not having inventory for physical products. You're not having warehousing for physical products. You don't have storage fees. You don't have fulfillment fees, right? There are so many, and I'll do another podcast going over these at a later point, but there's so many costs that are associated with other types of businesses. You don't have overhead. We have paying rent and a mortgage just to have a business in order to sell out of. If writing is the fundamental skill that you have, which will help every other skill in business, which it is, and if you're using writing to create the products, ebooks, courses, trainings, programs, cohorts, anything like that, then you already are running lean. So you can already spend more to acquire a customer. Boom. That's one win. Another win is that you can use your writing to test. So we talked about in the first part of this how writing there's nowhere to hide. You write, you can't hide behind a fancy edit. You can't hide behind an aesthetically pleasing transition, right? If you write, it comes down to the ideas that you have and the words you use to communicate. It's very, very simple. This is where where writing can actually dominate in customer acquisition. You can own customer acquisition. And this is because you learn very quick whether an idea is good or whether an idea is bad. You can have a terrible idea, and then if you have a fancy edit and you do some aesthetically pleasing things, then the idea won't look as bad as it is. And so when you're running ads with that idea, you may start testing more ideas around there because you think it's good. But really, the only reason it's not doing terrible is because you have a few fancy edits on there. But if you were to take the actual core of the idea in written form and run it, and it would absolutely fail. Right? So what you're doing is you're stripping away everything else and saying, what is the essence of my offer? What is the essence of the pain points that I'm communicating? What is the essence of the problem this person is experiencing and the unique way that I can solve it? Writing helps you get to the essence of what you need. Writing helps strip away everything else. And when you can do that, you can learn very quickly. It's immediate feedback, whether something works, whether something doesn't. And you find the things that work, and you can double down on those and grow faster and cheaper, and instead of trying to put money into ideas